I will categorize the impact into two categories: financial and non-financial. On the financial front, of course, uncertainty, the extreme fluid nature of the entire scenery is the main challenge here as well. But the impact that we have seen coming from COVID-19 in UAE and the Middle East in general is no different from what we have seen elsewhere globally, with almost every sector being affected to a varying degrees, of course. The sectors that were impacted the most are, of course, travel, aviation, tourism, and hospitality, trade, and some sectors like contracting and real estate. But what had added salt to injury, actually, is the free fall drop in oil prices that we have seen over the last few weeks. And taking into account the hydrocarbon-driven nature of the region here, has created the double whammy impact that you have alluded to. Just to put it in context, in UAE, we were expecting to attract 25 million visitors to the Expo 2020, which was supposed to happen in October this year. Now this stands postponed to when, we don't know. Saudi Arabia, for example, receives roughly 20 million religious visitors a year for Hajj, which is not happening this year. The fact that they have tripled their VAT tax to 15% 2 days ago tells you something. Egypt, meanwhile, is losing an estimated $1 billion per month in lost tourist revenue. This comes, of course, with all the bells and whistles, such as a potential recession, decrease in customer confidence, reduced consumption. The impact also did not spare the banking sectors, where we have seen significant drop in activities, coupled with near zero interest rate regime and rapid liquidity shifts. And we expect to see deterioration also on the credit quality as we move into the far end of the year, especially in the impacted sectors. Also, in my view, markets might remain highly volatile for some time, and that will make price discovery more challenging for market participants who are seeking to see pricing. On the non-financial front, of course, I mean, like everyone else here today, cyber threat and the rise in fraudulent activities is a major concern for everyone here in the region. I would say also operational risk when it comes to third-party support. We have all seen how the global supply chain came to a halt, and this is causing also a major concern. The other one that I could think of also is banking sector's ability to respond to the behavioral change in clients' asks during and post the pandemic. For example, at the moment, we are in an environment where social distancing, remote working is creating pressure on digital remote channels. However, I must say here that for a bank like Mashreq, where we thrive on digital channels, it's a nice problem to have. Having said that, from a regional point of view, the good news is that the governments are doing everything that they can to support the banks. Banks are doing everything that they can to support the economy. And we are also seeing positive trends emanating from the crisis, such as the faster transition to digital banking services.
Okay, that's a really interesting perspective you've given us from your part of the world. Just very briefly, how, just to ask you the same question I asked of William and Jane Ann around the strength of the banking sector to get through this crisis. Do you feel that's going to be possible without further resources, or is there going to have to be capital raising in your part of the world, do you think?
Well, like everyone else on the call, I think that financial systems are far more resilient today. The structural reforms that we have seen and taken place since 2008 has led to increased oversight from the regulators and also larger reserves as far as the bank is concerned. And I don't think that this is any different here in the region. I would think also that corporates and individuals who have learned from mistakes of the past are better prepared. And in my view, the damage that we are seeing is likely to be more contained. And I'm expecting that the danger could start subsiding in months rather than years.